will be speaking in English because I don't speak Russian very much. I'm very Ukrainian. So I was told that I should give a speech about what customers want, so I put together something about my experience. First, about our offices. We have call centers in Manila and Honduras. Our development office in Kyiv, and sales in Chicago and LA. Actually, I started doing outsourcing to Ukraine in 2000, so it's about 15 years. And I served as both as a customer, as a one of you guys, actually producing to the US clients, trying to get US clients up, and on both sides of the pie, we're trying to get customers, and I myself was a customer, including, I don't know where the iLogos staff was, but I actually used them back in the days, 2009. So, what we are currently doing is we are using our Ukrainian office. We have an office here in Kyiv where we're doing the programming in Kyiv. The support happens in Manila, and the call center operations happen in Manila. The reason that the programming happens in Kyiv is programs are very smart and very great, but they're, let's say, not very loyal, so they tend to move to EPAM and look soft. So that's why the maintenance operations happens in Manila, where it's a lot more stable. All right, in our company, our tagline is think outside the code, think solutions. So if you guys are going to service me as a US customer, I don't want a programmer who's going to tell me that's how much work it's going to need. I need somebody who's going to help me with a solution. Okay, so I will touch about that. So preparing for this, I asked one of my partners in the US, and he is an Asian American dude, and I asked him, hey, Darren, what do you think? I have this presentation I'm supposed to give. What do you think about what clients want? And he said, this was Skype chat conversation, and he said, clear communications, timeline management, cheap, fast, and working. That's it. Ha ha. He actually wrote ha ha, because that's what really customers want. They want people to tell them what's up. They want it fast, they want it cheap, but they're all kind of contradicting logic. You can't give them everything they're asking for. But he said, ha ha. And I shared this with him. I said, hey, can I put your name? He said, nah, just try this. So this actually was research that Gartner Group did back in 2005. Reasons why offshore deals fail. And it's really important to understand why it fails, because me as a client, these are my concerns. Okay? So you guys trying to service me, these are my concerns. So to give me better service, you have to understand what I'm afraid of. Okay? So first thing is unrealized cost savings. Why would I want to work with an offshore company? I want to save money or time, hopefully both. So I'm afraid of using offshore companies because I might lose money. My product might not be built properly, and more important, I might lose time, or my time to market window. Another thing is loss of productivity. My staff in the US office, how are they going to communicate with here? Are they going to be able to manage the task, the operations, especially if it's, let's say, design work? My designer in the US is going to work with a designer here. It's 7 o'clock, the guy wants to go home. It's 9 a.m. in Los Angeles. They're just coming into the office. And that's, again, for commitment and communication. Cultural differences, that's very important. Actually, about cultural differences, years ago, when I was actually back over in the US, managing the guys here, I wanted them just to put their timesheet. Just timesheet, even in an email, just, hey, write me what you did. I'll give you 10% extra bonus every month if you put your weekly timesheet in. No one did it. I asked, like, Sasha, what's up? Can you guys put it in? It's not I'm giving you an extra $150 a month just for putting in your timesheet. No one did it. No problem, I learned a new word called straf. 100 hryvnia straf is a lot more motivational than 10% So, cultural differences. One of the concerns of me as a client in the US is, hey, I'm not sure in my abilities to manage offshore resources. Actually, for the first 4 or 5 years, I didn't even come to Ukraine. I did everything remote. I was doing it on the internet. First program I hired was Sergey Osipchuk. salary was $300 a month, senior guy, it's 2,000. Of course, no, it's unrealistic. General client's expectation, this is really a laundry list. Everybody can tell you the same thing. You ask any client, he will tell you this boring stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Predictability, stability, cost efficiency. Everybody knows this. I don't think I'm adding something new here. However, I thought let's do something fun about our clients. Let's break them into categories. That's a lot more fun. So I decided to categorize our clients to time into two metrics. Which was the last? So tech savvy, non-tech savvy. Basically people who know technology, somewhat dangerous, and people who are ignorant when it comes to technology. And then you have people who are aware of, they know what's up, they know that I know technology. And then you have people who are completely unaware of their own knowledge. Yes, it happens. So first quadrant here is tech savvy, and they know that they are tech savvy. They are either a programmer or some head of an IT department, so they know what's up, they know what they want, they know technology, and they know that they know technology. I know this is a bit confusing, but it's very hard. So this is kind of Mr. MB, money back. Large company, they already have their established processes. I'll get to this story later. I'm not sure about time, but I will come back. So these guys, the tech savvy, who are aware of tech savvy, they are interested in processes, they're interested in stability, scalability, and transparency. So insurance company, big food company, large corporations, they actually care about process because they want something that works in the US, it goes to India, then it goes to Ukraine, then it comes back to the US. This is very important for them, process and scalability. They're concerned about security, business continuity, given the conditions here, and resources. Again, time and stuff, thank you. Guys. Second customer type. The ones who are tech savvy, but they're not aware. They are actually technical, they know what is database, they know this stuff, but they don't believe so much in themselves, and they're mostly on the business side, probably on the marketing side. They just have to deal a lot with technology people, so they have some education about it. And they usually are the kinds that say, oh, I see. You run into a problem, you explain it to them, they don't fight back, they say, oh, okay, I see, I understand. What's next? What's the solution? They are interested in features in their product. Okay, out of the 20 features that I was hoping to build, what can I build? What's my minimum valuable product that I can actually deliver to market? They are definitely interested in clear communication. I tell our PMs in the office, your job is to adjust client expectations. Not manage, adjust. Shit happens all the time and you gotta keep telling them what's going on. They of course care about efficient price. I didn't say cheap, I said efficient, because they appreciate value. They're concerned about timelines, stability, and transparency. They want to know that if I hire Sergey, Sergey is working on my stuff and not on something else. This is actually my personal favorite quadrant. I like those guys because I like to teach. So the ones who are not tech savvy, and they know that they are not tech savvy, they realize, like I tell you, you know, I don't understand nothing, but tell me please, what are my options? So they know that they don't know technology, and they usually have an idea, and they say, what can I do? Can you explain this to me? What are my options? And these people are interested in results. They definitely care about relationship, trustworthy relationship. They understand that IT is the key to their business goals. They like a business analyst. So here's where you switch hats, you put on your therapist hat, and you become a tech therapist. Tell me your problem, and I will hear you, and I will tell you what's the best solution. Because they already trust me. And hence our game, trust yourself. They are concerned about delivery, same stability and transparency. This is actually a big deal now, stability. Finally, the customers that don't know technology, and they have no clue that they don't know technology, they think they know technology. And the favorite quote, that should be easy. You're just moving a button from here to here. That's easy. You know? So, okay, we have a client. His name also starts with H, but he's twice my size, so we call him in the office like H. And literally, this was a Skype call, and he was giving us his requirements. Haroon, I wanted to do this. It's like, really, what are we talking about here? That was the actual requirement. He cares about cheap, fast, cost, and schedule are his concerns. You can maybe find these on ELATs and unrealistic clients, and those are the ones that you must avoid. No business is that business. Thank God that all my career we didn't really have to go after clients. Usually people just call me and say, Haroon, so refer me. I said, we have a problem and you are the one who's going to help us with this. Which is fantastic, but it's not really predictable and not stable. So I have a team, 20, 50 people. You're working on a project finishes. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do next? So we started to do some sales effort actually here. You know, it's our first person trying to take the temp. We tried our best, we tried the last. I don't like it personally, because that's the kind of client you end up with. No clue. So what do customers do? Customers want solutions. Remember, our tagline was think outside the code, think solutions. Years ago, Sergey had a project, and one of the features of this project was a billing. It's a monthly recurring subscription business model, $9.95 a month. You pay next month. It happens again and again and again. So Sergey, being an amazing, smart programmer, he wrote the code for this page. And every time we had so many bugs just with that page. I thought maybe it's a PM problem, maybe it's a bug, maybe it's the customer. I lost a relationship with the customer. I lost a friend because of that bug. Finally, I was like, okay, show me the code. And I look at the code. I mean, whenever you go to that page that shows you balance, every time you go there, a different number. Like, dude, it's supposed to be $9.95, fucking hard-coded. Every time it's a different number. $6.95, $3.25, something. What's up? He wrote code that calculates your balance down to the minute. To the minute. Like, you refresh the page a minute later, the number will change. Because he was deducting the $9.95, how many minutes in this month, you divide the $9.95 by this minute, how many minutes passed, how many minutes left, and that's your balance. Why? So, at the end of the day, our job is to understand the real problem for the customer and provide them with real solutions. We need to be proactive, we need to think for our customers. Somebody else was saying it never stops, the process never stops. After you sell, never stops selling or something like this. It's actually very true. And then we make it happen for our clients. That's right. Questions?
This story about the
LIOF. All right. Top. Actually, it's international food company. We did a project for them. 6 months project, over $1 million budget. Okay. And they are actually in the first quadrant. They know what's up and they know that they know what's up. But finally, when it was time to reveal the product to their VP, that's all we could see. There was a 7-pixel gap between the logo and the line that goes across and the top navigation. That's all he could see, a 7-pixel gap. Why the line is not aligned. So for customers, the way things look is very important. Now in our office, I have 4 designers just to make sure things look good. Because as programmers, you guys are 7 pixels, it's nothing. The engineering effort that went into that portal was an amazing amount of work. We practically, .NET programmers, master pages. We used master pages before it was master pages in part of Visual Studio. And we did an amazing engineering effort there. Nothing. The IT guys at that company understood it and appreciated what we did. But their VP, nothing. Why the yellow line is not aligned? So again, you have to understand the customer, who you're working with, what are their needs, what they're looking for, and direct your effort towards satisfying their needs. And avoid the last.
So let's start with the questions. Yeah.
Okay, what are your preferences regarding the different types of customers? I mean, you told that the third type is the most preferable, the first and the second?
It depends on your setup. If, for example, the first one, like I was saying, it's large organizations, so banks, insurance companies, they're really established, they need processes. In our office here in Kyiv, we're not really set up for that, so I kind of try to avoid them. I like the second one and the third one. It's more interesting for us. New projects, new products, new problems. So it keeps the guys here entertained.
So how many people do you have in Kyiv, like in Ukraine, working in Kyiv?
And in Kyiv, we have about 50, which is the only office we have in
So
Kyiv.
they have programmers and designers?
Yes. In Manila, we have maybe 1,500, and in Honduras, somewhere around 600.
Also programmers and
No, mainly they are call center agents.
Call center
Programming
agents.
in Manila, I have probably 20 that are just doing support.
What's, just a crazy question, what is the difference between hourly rate, Manila and Ukraine? Is it big
almost
difference?
half.
Cheaper there?
Almost half.
Cheaper?
Half,
But what about quality? I mean, with you guys?
You know, I don't want to speak negatively about the Filipino programmers. They're very
Right.
nice people, but the Ukrainian programmers are, they can handle more complex situations. Filipinos, if you have repetitive tasks, they are fantastic for it.
Okay.
Ukrainians, you give a Ukrainian guy a repetitive task, he's going to leave you in a week. Not to be pound.
Okay, so your people like there, they are mostly call centers, right? Like what help do they provide to the customer? Like why do you need so many people there on the phone?
Because our main business right now is actually not programming. Our main business is selling data for US customers. We have offices in the US that approach these large companies and we sell the data. And part of the things we offer is surveys, call qualities, and then we take all this data, like you guys were saying earlier, we do research and analysis and big data analysis to provide dashboards.
So we have special group of programmers that work with big data here, or?
So we do all the, let's say the number crunching happens here. And the Philippine maintenance of our products and the cost of operations.
Well, I don't have a question.
Speaking of your business, so is that correct to say that you have it run to your salary products? Or is that correct that all these call center operators, they sell outsourcing services to you?
How many of you guys are probably less than 2 years in business? So what I did initially, because at first I was a client in the US and I used Ukraine to outsource my programming needs. And then I slowly started to grow my team here and I started to spend more time in Ukraine, which made me disconnected from the US clients. And we tried to get some clients and just projects to go. And it's not very stable. So what we ended up settling in is that we have few partnerships with different companies that we act as their CTO office. So I am Chief Technology Officer for a few companies, and we have the team. So their entire programming back end happens in our office, and they sell. So some of them are B2C clients, some of them are B2B, and we provide them their backbone. So I don't worry about selling, they worry about selling, we worry about technology. It's a fantastic setup for me.
How did you get those customers, partners?
Mainly they were like people I knew over the years.
So your
because I-
personal network?
Yeah. Somebody earlier was asking me if I had anything to enhance or anything. I never had success.
But with those developers that are working for those companies, do you have some margin on those, or do you get salary out of those?
Price structure, how to structure
No,
pricing.
I mean for this CDO office specifically.
It's actually a very interesting conversation because pricing has been a dilemma for me since I was still living in the US. Because, it's basically a numbers game. To make good money, you have to have, have hundreds of people. So you can, pricing is pretty much set. Outsourcing rates is anywhere between 25 to 45 per hour. Unless you are specialized in something, you can ask for more because there is India, Pakistan, China, and as much as you want to talk shit about the other companies, people still use them. So you have your market pretty much setting the price, which really doesn't make me money. My cost personally is significantly more, and to have at least 100 people here, so I can make a living. So in my case, it worked out perfectly that CTO plus. So for me, I get paid CTO rates in the US, and the staff here is getting paid their salary plus margin. So we found our niche, basically. But I can empathize with you guys who are new. It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's possible.
And then how do you manage being CTO for several companies? That's probably a tough task.
It's very challenging, and especially when they are in like East Coast or West Coast in the U.S. So I have my office hours in Ukraine. I come into the office around noon, 1 p.m. till midnight or 1 a.m. So it's kind of hard,
Now, how do you manage time?
I have, the way I set up my team here is I put heads of departments, and they are responsible. Even some of them they deal directly with the clients. I train people very well. That's why when someone takes one of my programs, they
to be honest, what are main drawbacks of Ukrainian managers, developers, other guys you have there?
No loyalty, no commitment. I have not found large pool of loyalty here. People will leave you for $100 more. Maybe now in this industry, in this economy, maybe $200 more. Really, probably 4 people, 15 years doing business in Ukraine, I can tell you there's at most, not at least, 4 people that I can really trust and know they are loyal. And I've hired probably close to 300-400 people. Really bad ratio. I'm sorry, don't mean to be rude or offensive. It's reality. That's why for maintenance stuff, Philippines. I have people in the Philippines working 6 years. No complaints. Even the raises. I have a guy who asked me for a raise. I was looking at his history. I'm like, my God, last time I gave this guy a raise was 3 years ago. Can you imagine a Ukrainian programmer waiting 3 years to be asked for a raise? 3 months, maybe. Right? I mean, you're all laughing. It's true. You know that. It's actually, I wanted to ask Lena from my logos. I didn't understand your stuff because it's in Russian. I wanted to ask her maybe later about what kind of loyalty programs you do to keep your key people in the company.
Okay, I will respond you later because it's like a big question.
We take off their passports, right?
Yeah, and actually, companies that were moving from the east, where there's war now coming here, I had an interview with a guy, and I said, oh, you just moved from the east because of the war. How did you move here? He said, well, my company moved me. I said, you just moved a month ago. He said, yeah, they just moved me. I said, wait, so your company paid for you to move in less than a month, and you're already interviewing with me? He said, yeah. I said, why? He said, well, I didn't sign a contract with them yet. I said, that's not a reason. So we actually have a policy. I'm not going to hire somebody who just moved there. Right there, I mean, if this person has no morals, he's not going to stick long with me. So, other questions?
Is it different in the US?
Then,
I mean, this situation with loyalty and everything, developers.
Wow, that is a very good question. I started my career in the US in '94, and back then people were still loyal to companies. Like I worked at Xerox, and I was very much in love with Xerox. Until probably in the '99, I just left Xerox. So, things I think in the US between the '90s until today, things have changed. People don't feel that the business has loyalty to them, so they don't have as much loyalty to the business.
Is it a problem of generation?
Maybe it's a problem of a generation, maybe it's just the way businesses are run now. Like in the past, they used to care more about their employees. But I can't answer this because I have not been living in the US for 10 years, maybe. Too many places in the world. I stay in the US probably a total of a month. I tell you guys, this is the best industry, this is the best place to be. I get a chance to say, hey, I'm gonna go and live in Punta Cana for 6 months and work from Punta Cana. You know? I mean, okay, given that they have. You guys actually can do that. It's a fantastic opportunity. IT field is an amazing field. Just don't get too cocky.
So what's the specialty of your company? What do you do?
Custom solutions. You have a problem and find a solution for you, and usually we find the most effective solutions. You know, like I was saying, we don't really treat it as a programming thing, we treat it as a business thing. So in our team, we have .NET guys, we have PHP guys, we have data guys, iOS, and depending on your need, we come up with the best solution. And usually, people have a product idea. They're not necessarily startups, it could be existing businesses, they just have new product idea that they want to sell. So we help them build a prototype to sell.
So it doesn't have to be big data, it can be a complex website, for example, or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, we definitely do not do simple websites.
Okay.
We're not simple. My friends. Bad things happen. So
That's about it. We have time for one extra question.
Okay, about clear communication. What do you mean when you say clear communication?
Oh, okay, good question. In my team, I have a process. For active projects, we send our clients an email every day. Mr. Client, here's our plan for the day. Okay, so we're always updating them. If shit happened, something is taking a lot longer than it happened, we don't wait until the very end so they know. As soon as we have a problem, I tell them, hey guys, this is going wrong. Okay? So clear communication, like I was saying earlier, adjusting client expectations. Always communicate. On Thursdays, we have the Come to Jesus meeting, which is basically the project managers. They like to say, okay, what happened? Oh my God, we are late, we are not late, I need more .NET, I need PHP. Oh, okay, so that's the day where we start to scramble, like, oh, how far are we behind on some projects, and we adjust resources. But it happens religiously every week. We have the emails go out every day, and every week we actually have an internal meeting, and then we send a weekly summary. So we always let our clients know. We, you know, IT, whoever finished the project on time. You always have to cut some corners, remove features, put some shitty code here, hard code something here. It's just, you know, I mean, the entire process is kind of, let's see how it feels. So I prefer to just keep letting them know what's up. At the end, they're still happy. We're not on time, but they're happy and we have a good relationship. So you just have to let them know. And you don't just let them know the bad news. Well, bad news with options. Okay, here's the situation. You have the following 3 options, pluses and minuses of each one that you like. So let them be in control. Don't like wait until the very end. Oh, because they already made plans. They already made plans, expecting you will be on time. Even if they give you another 30% buffer because they know programmers are never on time, they have plans. And if you have to screw up their plans later on, might as well let them know early, be courteous to them so they know.
Okay, I think we ran out of time, and I think it's best time to thank Haroon.
Thank you guys.